What's going on, guys? Fun coming at you with another MLB The Show 19 tutorial tips video. Be sure to leave a like if you guys want to see more of these. Subscribe if y'all are new on the road to 20,000 subscribers. And comment down below other things you might need help on in MLB The Show 19. Today, we're going to be covering Conquest. This is, in my opinion, the easiest, maybe not the fastest, but just the easiest way to beat Conquest. So number one, what I would recommend, depending on your color, you just want to make sure your team, go to customize team, team details, team name. You want to make sure your main color is something recognizable. This is just, in my opinion, something that's really nice to make it easier on the eyes. You guys will see here in just a second. Lime green, I know it doesn't look the best for uniforms or whatever, but in Conquest, when you go into the map, my spaces on the map will now be green. Before, my color was very similar to the Twins, and I was just a little bit confused sometimes on which were mine, which was theirs, so it's just a little bit harder than it should have been to tell. I'm just gonna go ahead and restart. So this is exactly what you guys see when you first start Conquest. It's exactly what it was. You're gonna hop in, it's gonna be like this, and the first phase is an attack phase. Pretty much what you need to do, especially the first few attack phases, but just the easiest way this is going to go for you, you need as many spaces on the map as possible, okay? You need to have as many of these spaces as you can. So we're just going to go ahead, try and fill all of them up, and then that's done for our first phase. Now, in my opinion, and most people will probably agree with this, the only phases that you are going to do are attack and reinforce. So when you're on the Steel Fans phase, press the options button, skip to reinforce phase. Now when you're on reinforcing, we're just still trying to get as many spaces as possible. Move fans, you skip to attack, and then you're gonna go ahead and do what you were doing, just trying to get as many of the hexagons, I think that's what they're called, hopefully I know my shapes, as possible, because the more of these you have, the more reinforcements you get. For every 3 spaces on the map, you get another 1,000,000 fans to add to your reinforcements, which can help for attacking other spaces and just getting more of these spaces on the map. So again, skipping everything except the reinforce and attacking phase, pressing square to skip our enemies phases or their moves and attack, and then we're skipping Steel Fans and reinforcing this one just so we can start getting more. You guys can see I had 4 million, or I guess maybe it was 3 million for that one. And we're just continuing to get as many spaces as possible. And I'm going to go ahead, just do this for a little bit and kind of show you guys where the next step comes in. Now, this is something you need to pay attention as well. So the Twins are starting to get more spaces here. So I'm just going to go ahead and build this one up to 3 because it's right next to that one with 3. And we don't want them to break the link, because if they break the link, if there's no connection between these spaces over here and the spaces over here, then I'm not going to be able to reinforce and attack on these over here. They have to be connected. And when you start attacking other teams, all you're going to want to do is simulate. You do not want to play these games. So my goal right now is going to be surrounding the Mariners stronghold. Now, if you surround a stronghold, that means that they can't reinforce any other spots. That's what you want to do. So what you want to try to do is just surround every stronghold with your own hexagons until you have every stronghold surrounded on the map. Once you have a stronghold surrounded, I would recommend making sure you have at least 2 million fans in each of the surrounding tiles. However, maybe even 3, just so it kind of almost guarantees that they're not going to get you off of there. You guys can see here, I took over the A's, but then they regained the spots. So in my opinion, it's best if you see that one of your surrounded strongholds is starting to be taken over again, just go back and try and surround it again. You don't want to try to go to other strongholds. You know, I wouldn't want to go down to the Padres one down there and try to get that right now. In my opinion, it's best to target your resources to retaking that strongholds and just try to make sure you have as many as possible covered and surrounded at a time. As you guys can see here, I pretty much have the entire left side of the map covered. So now I'm honestly just going to pretty much snake up and down. So you guys can see right here, follow where I'm hovering over. I'm pretty much just going to go from left to right and just try to get as many spaces as possible on the map as I go towards the right and cover the right of the map, because you guys know the more spaces on the map you have, for every 3 spaces, you get another 1,000,000 reinforcements, another 1 added onto that reinforcements in the bottom left. So it's good to just have as many spaces on the map as possible. And because I have this left side of the map covered, no one can come from behind me or anything, so I don't really have to worry about going left to right. You guys can see right here, the Rockies cut me off. So I'm here trying to get that back because they cut me off from my home base. And if you guys want to do this, this is what I'm going to do right here. This could always work for y'all. The Rockies are taking over a big part of the map, man. They're a team that are just doing a really good job at competing against me. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to surround the Rocky stronghold to prevent them from doing anything with their other spaces on the map, because we're going to try and just cut them off like they cut me off. And if I'm able to do that, then they can't reinforce other spots on the map. They couldn't attack other spots on the map. And as long as we can hold that that circle around their stronghold, they're not going to be really doing anything. That's what we've done to all the other teams we've surrounded their strongholds. And you guys always want to be paying attention. See, like Colorado has a stronghold up here, and they took this spot from me. So I'm just making sure I'm taking it back right here. Sometimes you're going to get a little bit unlucky on the simulations, but you got to roll with it. Just make sure you're paying attention to if other teams are starting to try to take the map back. This is when it starts to get really easy. Once you're able to pile all your reinforcements into one spot, and just for what I do, just to make it a little bit easier on myself, like I said earlier, I like to just snake around the map. I like to go from left to right. We took the left side over already. Now I like to just kind of snake around, making sure I'm getting each tile that's already next to one of mine, and just going from left to right until eventually I'll cover the entire map. When I change it up a little bit is maybe once I get closer to a stronghold, I'll just try and prioritize surrounding the stronghold just to knock that stronghold out of play. But other than that, it's literally just me snaking from left to right until I have the entire map covered. And you guys don't have to do this, but what I like to do is once I kind of start a new line, I always like to just reinforce them to 2 right on the edges, because I have more than enough reinforcements. It might slow me down a little bit in the long run, but it's just pretty much guaranteeing that, you know, while I'm attacking, say down here, they're not going to start attacking me and just sliding back up through right up here. It's just kind of more of a precautionary measure. Also, just to let you guys know, the move fans phase can be kind of useful. So you see we have this 9 just sitting here. I can't do anything with it. We click on that one, and then this is what I'm going to be using to attack this round. So I'm just going to go ahead and move the fans over to that one, because it's just sitting in the middle, surrounded by my own spots. There's 8 million fans there that were just chilling, doing nothing. I've finally taken over the whole map, and it's taken me 40 turns. It's probably going to take some of you guys less, some of you guys more. It took me about an hour and 15 minutes again. Some of you guys will take shorter than that. Some of y'all, it will probably take longer than that. The next step, once you guys have all the strongholds surrounded, is to start attacking them and taking over those strongholds. Once you take over all 30 of them, then you have beaten Conquest. So you guys can see right here, we have double the amount of fans. Now 1 million fans stays in the tile. So if you want to have 24 million, you're going to need 25 as the number in that tile, because 1 is staying over. We have double their fans, and you guys can see we're able to play on veteran but not rookie. We can go over here. I have 3 times the amount of fans as this one over here. We try to attack it, still on veteran. So I have another one set up where we have 4 times the amount of fans. Go over and check that one, and we can play on rookie. So it looks like you need 4 times the amount of fans to be able to play on that lowest difficulty, but veteran, you only need double the amount of fans. A lot of you guys are probably wondering, is it worth it? So it took me about an hour and 15 minutes just to get the map done. Some of y'all will take shorter, some of y'all will take longer, and there's an hour 15, maybe even if it takes you guys a little bit longer, 2 hours right there just taking over the entire map. And then you have to play each game. So each game, depending on what difficulty, depending on how good you are at the game, each game can probably take anywhere from like 10 to 20 minutes, 10 being on the lower side, and you have to multiply that by 30. If it takes 10 minutes per game, that's 300 minutes right there. That's 5 hours. So in total, it's going to take you guys 6 or 7 hours. And if we go ahead and just exit out and look at the reward, you can get this 88 Ty Cobb. This is what you get for beating it all. Real quick, I'll show his stats. Not a terrible card, but definitely not an endgame card, but he's a diamond right fielder. However, common fielding, you're really only going to be needing that bat. In the field, he could be a little bit of a liability. Now, one reason you might want to be doing Conquest is for team affinities, just because if you don't want to do March to October, Conquest can really help getting those team affinities done. I actually have a video out. It's going to be in the pinned comment on this video. It's on this channel on the best way besides March to October, maybe even better than March to October, in my opinion, to be getting those team affinities done, where if you don't want the Conquest rewards, that's not why you want to do it. This can be very beneficial to you while you're doing those team affinities and to help you get those team affinities done. Overall, in my opinion, Conquest at this point in time just by itself isn't really worth it. With that being said, last year they had Conquest Extreme, and that could have made it worth it. And if they introduce something like Conquest Extreme again, you're probably going to need to beat this map in order to do it. So if you have some free time, you know, you want to catch up on some Netflix shows, YouTube videos, Twitch streamers, listen to music, it might be a good idea to just get this done just to be sure you have it done in case other stuff does come out, because they've been adding Conquest maps, man. There's already 4 different Conquest maps in the game. They're probably going to be adding more. It wouldn't surprise me if they added more missions with better rewards that required you to have this map done. If this video helped you out, definitely leave a like. Again, I have a video explaining team affinities and why Conquest can be beneficial to those. The easiest, maybe best way to do team affinities. Be sure to check that out. It's in the pinned comment. Subscribe if y'all are new. Like, comment on this video. Follow on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and the second channel. All those are down in the description. I really appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you so much. As always, hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace out.